All right, here we go. As we go through, you're welcome to ask questions. It is just myself and Patrick this evening, and so we will get to them as quickly as we can by typing back, or we may save some of them to answer at the end of our sort of 15-minute presentation. So hang tight if we don't get to it right away. We'll get to it as quickly as we can. So as we get started, I'd like to introduce both of us. My name is Kate. I started as a summer instructor in 2007 with Broadreach. I went full-time in 2008 and have worked a variety of positions over the years. I now serve as our director of global programs, and I spend my summers in the Caribbean overseeing our operations there.
Hi, everybody. My name is Patrick, and I'm a program specialist at Broadreach. I first joined Broadreach as a dive instructor on our Bahamas Marine Biology program way back in 2012. After the Bahamas, I took a brief hiatus, eventually coming back to Broadreach in 2016, where I got an opportunity to lead our Bali and Lombok Advanced Scuba Adventure. After that, I promptly asked Kate for a full-time job. She said yes, and I've been here ever since, overseeing our marine biology and diving programs.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. So Broadreach has been running unique and exciting programs all over the globe for the last 26 years. Our mission is that we challenge students to broaden their perspectives through new experiences and environments. We inspire them to develop lifelong skills, discover and explore their passions, and empower them to reach beyond self-imposed limitations and take charge of their future. That's our mission statement. And based on that, we have taken tens of thousands of students abroad. We're very proud of our history, our program design, and our philosophy. If your student is lucky enough, or you as a student are lucky enough to become a member of the Broadreach family, you'll find that we've honed in over the years on providing an exceptional student experience from the first moment you call, through the course of the program, and then into college, careers, and beyond. We love taking care of our students' families by including you in the journey as well. We've embraced technology and send frequent trip updates and photos to keep everyone at home engaged with the experience. The photo that you see here is from the very first Broadreach program in the BVI. Their experience was a little bit more rustic than we are these days, but we do try to hold true to the guiding principles that fuel all of our Broadreach programs. And Patrick's going to talk a little bit about our guiding principles.
Thank you, Kate. As part of our program design, our guiding principles are at the forefront of every Broadreach adventure. So many of our students' accomplishments on program are not quantifiable by their very nature, so we strive to provide students with tangible proof of their accomplishments. So students can earn college credit, internationally recognized certifications, and community service hours for their efforts on course. This is measured achievement. For example, Kate, you just got back from doing a program walkthrough on our Dominican Republic Emergency Medicine program. This particular program offers 80 hours of a medical certification course called Wilderness First Responder, which provides students with an opportunity to practice medical scenarios and then engage with local communities to provide basic health care. I can personally attest it's a huge achievement. Regarding real-world learning at Broadreach, our students take a unique and hands-on role working alongside professional educators and researchers out in the field. Spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more as it pertains to our Bahamas Marine Biology program. Leadership on Broadreach includes learning about goal setting, time management, guiding group discussions, and decision-making strategies. Also, we're environmental stewards. Broadreach students will focus on global environmental issues, understanding local ecosystems, and creating a sense of awareness about the world around them. A great example of this, our students will be participating in an underwater cleanup while scuba diving in Bali this summer. This is especially timely as Bali has recently banned single-use plastics. Global citizenship means that we're engaged with the communities we visit. We also take part in meaningful service learning projects at the local level, such as reforestation projects, conservation, and also community building. Finally, teamwork is such a fundamental skill, and one we model through communication and social skills, caring and compassion for others, living and working in a group, and responsibility to the group as a whole. With that, I'll send it over to Kate to talk about risk management on Broadreach.
One of the most popular questions from our students and families is, of course, related to safety. Often we're asked, is Broadreach safe? We work year-round and take a proactive approach to managing the risks that our students and our instructors will face on the program. That's really our favorite answer to that question. We provide an extensive emergency action plan for every place that we go. It covers how to respond to incidents, whether they're small or big, While the majority of our incidents are cuts and scrapes and bumps and bruises, we do occasionally have a stomach bug or broken bone or something along those lines that requires more extensive medical care. As a result, we guide and train our instructors on exactly how to manage these incidents and provide 24/7 office support during the summer to both our instructors and our families, should anyone need anything at any time. And that's really important to us. Our students participate also in being great managers, which is a wonderful way to set them up for a lifetime of safety. They're briefed by instructors for each location they go to, and we help teach them important travel skills. We choose also our in-country partners really carefully. And as you heard Patrick mention, I just got back from the Dominican Republic where I did a full walkthrough of our new emergency medicine program just to ensure that everything is up to the Broadreach standard. And good news, everything went great and we're really excited about that program for this summer. But again, that's an example of how carefully we craft these approaches to risk management. So our instructors, which we'll talk about next, attend a 10-day in-person training to learn about Broadreach, our philosophy, get in depth with our program specialists and all aspects of the program they're leading. So please rest assured that we're committed to taking exceptional care of you or your student. That is our utmost priority.
Speaking of our instructors, over 50% of them return year after year. This is a number we are incredibly proud of. Our families love to know more about our instructors. They are 28 years old on average, and if they're leading an academic program, they will have their master's or doctorate in the material they are teaching. They are true experts in their subject matter. Marine biologists, zoologists, dive instructors, and teachers who are so passionate about what they do that they want to share it with our students. Our instructors from last year represented over 33 nationalities. They are a diverse and fun bunch. They're incredible mentors even years after a Broadreach program ends. We have instructors who write college reference letters and job recommendations for students who decide to pursue their passions on a full-time basis. And if I didn't mention, our instructors are some of the coolest people in the world.
So if you're interested in how to go about picking the best Broadreach program for you, we will provide a link in a follow-up email to one of our previous webinars that dives a little bit deeper into that particular topic. But please note that spaces are going quickly this time of year. So if you already have your heart set on a particular program or a set of dates, give us a call first thing tomorrow. Our incredible office staff are here to help you get signed up for that course, or maybe find an alternate if the course is already waitlisting, which we also do offer wait lists for some of our programs that are already full. But again, just call tomorrow and we can talk about it if there's something in particular that you're looking at. We're going to dive into two programs right now. While you may not be interested specifically in these two adventures we're going to highlight, although we may change your mind in the next 10 minutes, we think that they are great examples of our approach to learning, our program design, and our passion for providing exceptional experiences for our students. All of these things can be found on any Broadreach program that you might be looking at. So I'll hand it over to Patrick to tell you a little bit more about one of our favorite marine bio programs.
Thank you so much, Kate. A common question that I get asked is, Patrick, how do I become a marine biologist? So to pursue a passion like marine biology, education and experience are the two biggest building blocks. And I can't think of a better balance of education and experience than on our Bahamas marine biology experience. So to touch on the experience aspect, our Bahamas marine biology students spend their time at a working research station on the beautiful island of San Salvador. We live alongside researchers, spend time in the field, sharing the same resources and environment as those working on their master's thesis or doctoral research. To supplement this experience, the other building block is education. So we offer college credit on this program. This is one of the strongest educational foundations there is. Lessons happen in many hands-on ways. Well, one of my all-time favorites is fish biology. So students learn how fish differ in their behavior, anatomy, and physiology, but they also get hands-on with a fish dissection. And then they see the fish that they just studied and dissected in its natural environment in the ocean just steps away. This really brings things full circle. Speaking of seeing fish in their natural environment, let's not forget scuba diving. It is such a valuable tool for marine scientists around the world, and it's just plain old fun, especially in the Bahamas. So this balance of education and experience also serves as a great stepping stone to the other programs on the path towards becoming a marine biologist. So next steps for our students include species-specific programs such as sea turtles and dolphins in the Mediterranean, sharks in Fiji, marine mammals in British Columbia, or our advanced marine biology program to study a topic of your choice. Or for those that want to become professional divers, dive master and instructor programs. So a quick story that I'd like to share with everybody. I was actually teaching a dive course in Hawaii in 2016, and I came up from a dive and suddenly recognized another diver on the boat. After staring at each other for about 30 seconds too long, we figured out how we knew each other. It was one of my students from the Bahamas 4 years earlier, and he was off to study marine biology at the University of Hawaii. Fast forward another year, and he's now working as a dive instructor for us in the Caribbean. So that is the ultimate full circle, and it's part of the reason why we create Broadreach programs. I love talking to our families about marine biology programs and our world of scuba diving adventures. Kate, I mentioned the Caribbean. Care to elaborate a bit?
Sure, I'd love to. I am particularly passionate about our Caribbean programs, and I get to spend my summers based on the Broadreach support boat, ensuring that all of our students have a really exceptional experience. I came to Broadreach as an avid sailor and diver and really quickly fell in love with the Broadreach way of doing things. So you'll see that there are lots of other organizations out there that teach sailing and diving to teens, and while all of them are tons and tons of fun, Broadreach is really its own world of unique and unexpected adventure, and I think that's something that really sets us apart. We are beyond a summer camp or are beyond like kind of a camp on the sea, and we're always happy to talk to you about those differences between Broadreach and some of our other competitors out there who are all wonderful. So on our Caribbean Underwater Discoveries voyage, which is the picture that you see here, in collaboration with our students, we chase passions and create opportunities for exploration. We do teach diving and sailing, and then go beyond that to push our students to think about the world around them, to successfully negotiate their living space while sleeping on a 50-foot catamaran, and to live and learn in a small group environment. Our program boats operate independent from each other, not beholden to any master schedule or itinerary. Our support team, myself included, keeps track of each boat's whereabouts. And while we're always close enough to lend a hand if needed, we strive to create an environment where our students have real input and can flex their leadership and decision-making muscles. So this is going to be really different from any other program out there, and we are committed to the tight-knit and incredible learning environment that we believe this creates. So I think that the Caribbean Underwater Discoveries Voyage is the perfect first program for a Broadreach student. If you've never been on a Broadreach trip before, this is a good place to start. It's unbelievably easy to get to and from St. Martin. There are direct daily flights from all over the US, Canada, and Europe. We have a huge logistics team based in St. Martin that helps make things go smoothly every summer. Our students are met at the airport, come to our marina, and get outfitted in their scuba gear, which we loan to students free of charge. And then they head off to get to know their group, their boat, and a little bit more about the experience that they're going to have. I always say that it's an incredible opportunity to get to live on a floating classroom over the biggest aquarium in the world, which is, of course, the ocean. Our students can work with instructors to get up early for a dawn dive or spend extra time learning really intricate knots. Our staff are sailing and diving experts, and they love to stoke the fire of excitement in our students. So the 21-day version of this program takes the group from St. Martin to St. Bart's, on to St. Kitts, St. Eustatius, and Saba. We have a shorter 12-day and 17-day itinerary if you're maybe short on time but want to get your Broadreach journey started. These are great places to do that. So no matter the length you choose, students will get to explore the islands both above and below the waterline, do relevant community service work with the local marine parks. They'll hike volcanoes and explore the fruit markets. That's a really good first step into the world of diving and sailing, and we really believe that we do this better than anyone else. If you're interested in talking more about this program, please feel free to schedule a call with me. You can use the link there, the calendly.com/Kate Broadreach. You can reach Patrick also if you're interested. We kind of glossed over that slide, but calendly.com/Patrick Broadreach will allow you to make an appointment to chat with either one of us and learn more about these really incredible programs. So we look forward to speaking with you. If you can't or don't have time to make an appointment and reach one of us and want to just call our office anytime, you can speak with anybody here. We have a really incredible and knowledgeable staff, and everyone here is excited to share our passion for adventure with you and your whole family and help find the best fit for your summer. So that is our presentation. We try to keep it short and sweet for you all. We know everyone is busy and has lots of stuff to do in the spring with school wrapping up and the summer right around the corner. We will stick around for the next 30 minutes or so to answer any questions that you might have. And it looks like a question came up while we were chatting about travel and how travel day works. And so I can field that. And while I'm filming that, feel free to ask other questions. And our colleague Sarah is also on this webinar, and she can collect those and help pass those along as well, which is what she did with this one. So travel day, we provide vetted flight recommendations for our families. So we have this wonderful thing called the Broadreach portal, which is a pre-departure portal. It consolidates all of the information that you would need to get ready for the summer, including packing lists and health recommendations, but it also has flight recommendations. So in there, you'll get flight recommendations. You can use a travel agency that we partner with if you'd like, or if flights are complicated, you're welcome to use them. And so booking travel for your student is fairly easy. We provide, again, vetted flight recommendations from major cities, and then windows of time basically to arrive and depart from the program location. So that's kind of getting the flight sorted. We also will send a t-shirt to students that they can wear on travel day, which makes it easy for us to spot them, and then for students to spot each other in the airports. It's often fun for them to say, oh, hey, are you going on Broadreach? Because they're wearing a Broadreach t-shirt, it's easy to find each other and then get linked up. And then for our minors, so a lot of the airlines have different rules for students who are under the age of 15, and we offer information about how to sign up for the airline's unaccompanied minor service, which is where an airline representative would travel with a student and help make sure they get from gate to gate and into the hands of our wonderful and smiling staff members once they're in country. And then, of course, our instructors will be there as soon as students clear customs with their bags to meet them right when they come out. And we can provide a lot more information about this over the phone for the particular country or location that you're looking at. And the other good thing to know about this is that we have a 24/7 dedicated travel hotline for any questions that come up during the during travel day. So you're welcome to call that any time of day or night, and we can help do some guidance on the fly.
That's great, Kate. We actually, sort of as a quick segue here, we had a question about support that Broadreach provides while a student is on a trip. And so you were talking about the 24/7 dedicated travel hotline. Just to let everybody know at home, we are here 24/7 throughout the summer. So we'll have a dedicated staff phone line, so you can call us anytime, day or night. Also, students will be writing trip updates. So these are almost daily written blog entries with some photos by students in the field. So you and any relatives, friends can follow along with all the excitement from home. And of course, if you need to talk to your student, maybe a birthday is coming up, who knows, we can arrange for that. So just let us know when, and we can certainly help and support you in that way as well.
Hello.
We got you, Sarah.
Okay, great. It looks like we have a question here about whether or not students are able to call home. Can one of you field that?
Yeah, definitely. I can take that one. So students are absolutely able to call home. They will call as soon as they have arrived in country, gotten their bags, and met up with their staff member. We usually ask our families to allow for a couple of hours for them to get all those things collected, get with their instructors, kind of use the bathroom, get a snack, those immediate things, and then they'll give a call home and let you know that they got there safely. You can always call our office if you're worried about whether a flight has landed or anything like that, and we're happy happy to help. But students should call home right when they arrive. They'll also call home before they head home. So they'll give a call and make sure nothing's changed about their flights or who might be meeting them to pick them up on the other end when they get back home and want to share their stories. So those 2 calls will definitely come through. And then we also carve out time on our courses for students to call home, typically on Sundays. We hope that families have a little bit of flexibility on the weekends and can receive calls from their students on those days, which is why we try to make that a designated call home day to check in and share excitement or enthusiasm or questions or concerns or anything that they might have. They can share with you at that time. And then at other times, so we hold on to our students' SIM cards, which is their ability basically to make calls and send text messages. And we hold on to those for students to really help them manage their use of that and encourage them to be present and to be active with us in the moment. That said, we do give SIM cards back to students as requested to make phone calls or send a text message. Those things are not like locked up and held away from the students. We're happy to give those back. If they would like to communicate or if you would like to communicate with them, we're happy to give that SIM card back for that time. And then we'll collect that back to kind of, again, help make sure that our students are staying engaged and active with us and not buried in their devices, trying to communicate with home. But again, if they need it, we're happy to provide it.
Great. We have another question here that asks about how college credit works for high school students. Are they eligible for college credit?
That's a very good question, Sarah. And yes, how amazing that our students can receive college credit on Broadreach, even as high school students. So this college credit is offered through a partnership that we have with Lesley University. And this has been a partnership that we've had for roughly 20 years. And so they oversee all of the curriculum for our academic courses. So upon passing the academic component of a particular summer adventure, students can request a transcript from Lesley University in the fall or whenever they end up going to college. So they'll speak with their university registrar and submit the transcript they receive from Lesley. It's as simple as that. And so universities around the world have accepted our credit. Almost all universities in the US do. This is from the University of California schools all the way to Princeton.
Great, thanks, Patrick. Sarah was just telling me that it looks like we've run out of questions for the moment. We will hang around, though, if more questions come through, and we're happy to answer those. So we'll just be here for a few minutes. But if you do need to go take off and do something else, we will send out a copy of the full webinar to you in an email tomorrow, so that you can look back and see if there were any interesting questions that came up. And then, of course, if you have any interesting questions, we'd love to hear those.
Kate, it looks like we have a question about being concerned about not knowing any of the other students, so coming on program without a friend. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a wonderful question, a wonderful thought. The majority of our students do come on course solo. And so that is typical of Broadreach programs that students are coming alone on program, and we provide a lot of support leading up to the course for students to feel comfortable about what they're getting themselves into, with more information, packing lists, and health and safety recommendations, and all that good stuff. Another thing that we do leading up to the course is that we will have a private group for students to get to chat with other students who will be on their program, and so kind of get to know students that way through technology, and we think that's a wonderful thing as well, to use technology to our advantage to let students get to know each other beforehand. And then we do occasionally have students that join with a friend, and or someone that they maybe met at summer camp the year before, and that is awesome and wonderful, and we love having them join. And we usually encourage those families to talk to their students a little bit about creating an open and inviting atmosphere. Because so many of our students do come solo, we want to make sure that students who come with a buddy are, making sure that they're integrating with the group as well. And so I think that really highlights Broadreach's focus and attention on creating really wonderful group dynamics for our students. I think something that sets us apart from some of the other companies out there is that we really do a lot in the first 48 hours to make sure that students have an opportunity to get to know each other, especially in those first 48 hours, and really break through a lot of those barriers. And I've led lots of trips over the years. I've been with Broadreach for about 13 years, and have led so many programs and had groups of students that didn't know each other. And then 2 days into the program, you wouldn't even believe that they hadn't known each other for 20 years. It's or however old they are, 13 years. It's incredible to see that transformation take place. And then, by the time they're closing out the program, they're making plans already to stay in touch. And we do have a lot of students that visit each other post-program. And I think that those things and those relationships that they build with students from all over the world really are, our students come from everywhere, is a really important aspect of doing something like this. And it creates bridges across different cultures and different countries, and kind of breaks down those barriers. So a really long answer to, do students come solo on program, but I think it's something that's important, and helps highlight something that we really are passionate about.
Awesome. Patrick, I have a question for you. We have a parent who's a little bit concerned about kind of risk management and safety when diving, specifically kind of how a young person is supposed to be aware underwater and know what they're doing. Can you speak a little bit about Broadreach's approach to scuba diving?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question, Sarah. Thank you. So when it comes to the world of scuba diving on Broadreach, one of the first things that comes to mind is our small ratios. So in the world of scuba diving, and if you're looking at PADI as an example of a certifying organization in the world of scuba diving, they'll have ratios of about 1 instructor to about every 8 students, depending on the course. We'll have smaller ratios than that, so we can have more focused time with our students. Also, when you look at dive courses throughout the world, usually, let's say if it's an open water course, it'll be anywhere from 4, 5, maybe 6 days at maximum. But the great thing about doing a dive course on Broadreach is that students will be with their instructors for about 4 times as many days as that. So if you're talking 20 plus days and doing 20 plus dives with your dive instructor, you're really going to get a chance to become a better diver than you would if you're just doing a course, let's say recreationally at a local dive shop. And so when each dive takes place, even after the course is complete and students have met all of those requirements for certification, our instructors are still working every day on briefing and debriefing a dive, going through those skills that they've already learned and honing each of those skills. So this makes our students much better than a lot of divers out there that are doing these courses just recreationally in a couple weekends.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. That's a really great answer to that question. And if we do have other questions about anything, we are hanging around.
Hey, Kate, we have a pretty general question kind of about sleeping arrangements, which I know differs for all of our programs, but the question was kind of how do sleeping arrangements work? How many students share a room? Are you able to give kind of a broad overview of what that looks like on various programs?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a pretty good, I think, general answer for that. So our accommodations on Broadreach programs are going to be, like Sarah said, really different from program to program, but all of them share some characteristics, which is that we really want our students to have a comfortable environment in which to sleep. So they'll know what to expect when they're headed to a new place, whether it is going to be tent camping while they're going on a hike to Machu Picchu, or if they're staying in a research station, which is really typical of a Broadreach program that we might stay at a research station. That's going to look a little bit more like a dorm style setup where the genders are going to be split, so boys and girls. Students will have their own bed to sleep in, and we'll have bathrooms to share with maybe a couple of other students of the same gender. So that's going to be pretty typical across any of our accommodations. We also use a lot of small hotels or bed and breakfasts, things like that. Broadreach is typically not staying in any like big hotels or anything like that. And then another commonality across our programs is that, if we are going to be in a town or in a more urban area, we are staying in places that have doors that lock to the outside, have staff that are going to be there during the night and things like that in case we need anything. Then of course, when we're in more rural areas, sometimes we're staying in eco lodges or river huts and things like that that are really neat opportunities for our students to kind of explore some of the different accommodations that are available across the world, and some of them are like really incredible places. But the thing that I really would want for our families to take away from that is something a little bit bigger, which actually is worth mentioning, that on Broadreach, we're really committed to our students being able to be in a positive learning environment where they are taken care of so that they can focus on the subjects that they're trying to learn, be it scuba diving or marine science or veterinary medicine or medicine or whatever it is that's the focus of the course. We really want our students to not be worrying about where they're going to sleep or how they're going to eat. There are programs out there that do use those tools to have a growth experience for students. So like a camping program, for example, where they might be like foraging for food, or at least having to cook their own food and carry their own food and things like that. That's not really the point of a Broadreach program. We're really looking to take care of those things for our students, although they may participate sometimes in preparing meals with us to learn how to cook and to learn about teamwork and things like that. We are really providing all of that for them and providing comfortable accommodations so that they can get a good night's sleep and have enough fuel for the day and things like that. So I hope that helps paint a picture and also maybe give a little bit more information about how our Broadreach programs are set up and what our goals are through answering that accommodations question. And I think you'll see that highlighted across a lot of things that we do at Broadreach is kind of try to stick to that approach where our students are really able to work on these higher level goals that they might have for their program experience. We'll give it another couple of minutes. If any of you have burning questions, please feel free to ask them now. If you do have other questions, we've gotten a few program-specific questions as well. And so if you're maybe already enrolled in a program or looking to enroll in a program and have program-specific questions, folks like Patrick here, who are our program specialists, or myself for the Caribbean, or we have a bunch of other folks here who are program specialists and who can speak really specifically to the different programs that we offer, the accommodations, the food, things like that on those programs. Another great thing to mention is that we can really easily accommodate a variety of different dietary restrictions or allergies or anything like that. We're always happy to talk to our families about, or if you have any medical concerns, we'd love to talk with you about that and kind of help guide you toward the right program for you. And so if you are kind of having thoughts like that and want to talk more specifically about your student and your family's expectations for what you're hoping to get out of the summer, please just give us a call, and we'd love to help answer those questions and try to find the right fit for a summer experience. We're hanging around a little bit longer as Sarah's answering a couple of private questions that were asked. And so we're still in here if anybody thinks of anything. And Skylar, I can answer your question about Ecuador out loud since we're all just hanging out in here a little bit longer. So Skylar, Skylar had a question about our Ecuador program and temperatures on the Ecuador program. And so on that particular program, the temperatures are going to be variable across the course. So the course will start up in the mountains and temps will be a little bit cooler. So like fleeces and hats will typically be worn on that course at the very beginning, and then once you get down to the coast, it'll be a little bit more temperate, but days are not super hot or cold in Ecuador in particular. As it's on the equator, it really relies on whether or not you are up in the mountains or kind of down by the ocean in terms of the temperature variability. And so when you're doing your language classes and doing your home stays, it'll be a little bit warmer there. And so sunscreen would definitely be wanted for that week. But for the rest of the program, you'll be up either in kind of the mid-range cloud forest or up in the Andes Mountains where temperatures are going to be a lot cooler, and you could be comfortable in like hats that cover your face or things like that to protect from the sun. Awesome. I think that we're pretty much wrapped up. There's just a couple of you left. So again, if you do have any questions about anything, please feel free to give us a call. All right, wonderful. I'm going to close this out. I hope everyone has a really wonderful evening, and we will look forward to speaking with you soon, hopefully.